Hello, welcome to another video everyone will hate us for.
We're not going to complain about movie theaters too much.
I have no complaints.
This is not a video about movie theaters in particular, but we should point out that we do now live in a post-chicken jockey world.
Chicken jockey, I can't believe that.
So anything
shit.
we say
Oh
about
my
the current
God.
state of like movies and box office, it all needs to be taken with a grain of
Okay,
salt.
I hope they show
because
the other videos.
It's all out the window now.
So the one when they have the chicken. Yeah, there it is.
We live in a nightmare world where chicken jockey is a thing, and the director of a major motion picture is encouraging
Society's falling
audiences
apart.
to make the lives of theater employees miserable.
And then this
I
week
know,
in
how could you
Melbourne
say
at
that?
Ringwood Hoyts, things have really taken another turn when some kids have let off a fire extinguisher. That would have been very scary for the other people in the cinema.
Can I say my hot take on chicken jockey? I'm fine with it. Do you remember when the Harry Potter books came out and people were like, children shouldn't read those, they're satanic. And the counter argument was, kids are reading books. This is good. I mean, if you're an advocate for movie theaters, if you're a Sean Baker, kids are going back to the movies, baby.
Yeah.
Sure, they're bringing in live chickens and throwing trash all over the place.
Getting arrested.
And getting
Fuck it.
arrested and
We need the
causing
money.
movies to be
Go see the
shut down.
theaters.
But hey, they're
We don't
going back to
care.
the theaters, and that's what's really important.
Is the Minecraft movie the first meme movie? Other movies have been memed. You have like the Morbius, it's Morbin Time, that was like a meme, but nobody saw the movie. This is a movie that people are like flocking to.
I think the best meme for that Morbius was with the one with Goku, where he says, "Let's go somewhere empty to fight." They're fighting in the Morbius theater, and then they use that for every other flop. I fucking love it. Like the latest one was Snow White. Vegeta, let's go fight somewhere empty. And they're fighting as Snow White's showing.
It's done much better than expected at the box office. And it's
The
because
internet is
the
a
movie
gift and a
itself is like a
curse.
meme. You go to the theater specifically to post clips of you watching this stupid movie.
First meme movie, maybe Megan, her dancing. I don't know, but you mean to be involved in your own meme?
Yeah, where it's like well, this is interesting because this is kind of going along with what we're talking about, like what movies are doing well, is that it happened organically. Everything with the Minecraft movie, it was not. You know what you're going to see now? You're going to see studios trying to recreate
God.
the chicken jockey meme. They're going to try to
It
artificially
works.
create
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah, you have some fucking asshole running up to the studio head. My God, sir, it works! It works! More chicken jockeys! Hurry, stat! More chicken jockeys!
And
Gotta
it'll
get those
fail
kids to the
completely.
theater.
Nobody was expecting chicken jockey.
full ices just thrown at people,
More ices
at
thrown.
the wall, at the screen.
It was a horrible scene.
The theater ended up calling the police, but most of the culprits fled out the fire
Oh my
exit.
God.
So let's talk about movies.
Movies, they're happening, they're in the theaters, but no one's going. So what is this conversation about? Is it about the
No
fact
one's
that
going.
IPs are now successful and
It's just IPs
little
now.
movies are just flopping?
No one cares for art.
That seems to be the trend. We did a video around
I
this
don't
time
know.
last year
I'm just
called The
saying
Death
that.
of Movie Theaters. Because at that point, there was articles being written about how like every movie was underperforming. Big movies, mid-budget movies, whatever. It was a bad time for the box office. And this year, the trend is that all the like mid-budget movies, because we always talk about how movies are not, there's not a lot of original movies. It's all recognizable IP. We did our What Our Next video.
Mufasa, the Lion King.
That was fucking great.
AKA
What are
one of Lion
next?
Kings.
That was on my birthday.
Is that a sequel to a remake as well?
I think it's a prequel to a remake as well.
Prequel to a remake of a sequel to an original property?
Cash money, baby.
But there has been a lot of original movies
Stupid.
coming out this year. but the trend is that nobody's really seeing them. They're all underperforming or flat out flopping.
And well, the interesting note is, and this is where things get confusing, is when I looked at the biggest box office returns for 2025 so far, the top 3 were all recognizable IPs. The top 3 had terrible reviews.
Well, the Snow White movie isn't in the top 3 box office. Really?
Yeah.
And it's still horribly underperformed. That's interesting.
The budget estimated between
How's that top
240
3?
million and 270
Who's
million.
watching that crap? Who's falling for that?
But it brought in 82 domestic, 100
Idiots.
worldwide for 182. Certainly
I'm just
lost
kidding.
money.
Yeah.
But
Not really.
at $182 million
Not really.
gross as of whatever this date, I think I did this yesterday, that makes it number 3. Everything else is
That's actually,
much lower.
yeah, the fact that Snow White is number 3 and it underperformed is not a good sign for everything underneath it.
Because,
yeah.
because people, there's
Jesus
the
Christ.
bulk
How's
of
that top
theater
3?
goers are people that are
To look into that.
just going in mass to watch the thing they know.
Yes.
And the people that are like, we have a whole bunch of oddball original movies.
Many of them good.
Many of them
Quality is
good.
not even a factor in any
Quality
of this.
doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Reviews don't matter more. It's just what gets them into the theater.
God. Him saying that is just making me think like, oh my God, is our society turning into idiocracy? Or it's like they just have an ass up on the movie theater and it's just farting and people are just laughing. Oh my God, that's what's happening, huh? Are we really getting that dumb and numb? Where we just don't have the attention span to watch something original? Like we have to watch something we already know and makes us feel comfortable. And we just laugh and throw things. Oh my God, it's happening, isn't it? It's becoming idiocracy.
There's a lot of movies that will be on our list here that you barely heard about. Novocaine had a pretty good marketing campaign behind it.
It did
And
bad
that movie
too, right?
did okay. It
Oh,
wasn't
did
like a
okay.
flop.
I saw an article that considered it a flop. So,
And you always have to, when we're talking about these, you have to factor in marketing budget
Yeah.
and the box office, the theater take.
so 18 million budget, and then
It's happening.
yeah, there was a lot of advertising.
We even got some stray free advertising out of that movie.
And so that's what this is. It's like if you really zoom in on my face, you can just see how absolutely I'm trying to go along with the bit, but I am the most embarrassed.
Oh my
I've
God,
ever
best
been
of the worst. That's the
in my
best.
entire
That's
life.
I
awesome.
saw that poster.
He's wearing a
that
Best
kind
of the Worst shirt. Oh my
Operation-inspired
God.
Poster was everywhere.
That's so
They did a
cool.
great job marketing that movie.
Well, that's the thing is, I wanted to talk about that earlier when we talked about movie theaters before. We're not going to complain about movie theaters. Relax. I don't mind movie theaters. We're going to go to
Can
more
relax.
until I have an incident.
Right.
When we went and saw Minecraft movie, we walked by the small theater, and they were playing that Bill Murray dog movie.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray and Naomi Watts.
Bill Murray dies and Naomi Watts has to take care of his giant dog. And I think that's the premise. And I was like, that's in a theater? Like what? And then
Wow.
other,
Again, no marketing behind it.
no marketing,
was gonna say,
other
I
movies
never heard
are
of
in
that.
theaters, but with Novocaine, I was like, oh, I'll just wait till it comes out on streaming. And it comes out on streaming and I paid $25 to buy it. And I was like, why doesn't everybody do this? And then I thought about it and I was like, that's a lot of money. A movie, just a singular movie. I'm happy to pay it because I'm a movie buff who likes to watch movies at home, especially new releases that I want to see. Happy to pay that. But I totally understand movie after movie after movie after movie, if you're paying that price at home, people just skipping it.
Yeah, or you wait to rent it. And that's another thing too, is talking about the narrowing window between theater and streaming, which happened with the other Jack Quaid movie, Companion, back in, was that January that came out? Where it came out, didn't do great, and so the studio panicked and they're like, put it on streaming immediately. So like within 2 weeks of being released in theaters, it was already on streaming. And so that kind of de-incentivizes people to go to the theater. If it's not a big Minecraft movie, if it's not a big event movie, I think a lot of people will just say, I'll just wait.
Yeah, well, I think we need to break down the audience into subcategories
That's been what's
because
happening.
there's the theater tier.
But I'll be honest, like I'm busy. I got 4 kids, and then taking 4 kids to the theater is fucking expensive. You're just better off waiting. For me, anyways. Like like you said, like yeah, you pay $20 or $20 or $25, right? Just to watch it at home instead of what in total like over $100 paying for your whole family, and then I gotta buy food too. And then there's moments where they have to get up and use the restroom, and you miss some of the movie, so it's not like you get your money's worth. Like, I'm better off watching that movie here. So if they need to use the restroom, I could just pause the movie. They can get up. We're in the comfort of our own home. They can scream and run around. I don't fucking care.
And in some cases, going to the theater is cheaper than streaming.
Oh, sure.
It's not like a trickle down effect like it used to be with premiere release, then the second run theaters, then home video. It's like going to an afternoon show of, I don't know, seeing a companion. I don't know, was it $12, $13 a ticket? I don't even know.
I mean,
anymore.
it depends on where you're at in the country, but yeah.
So you go to the
Between
theater.
10 and $20.
Yeah, I mean, if you choose to buy concessions, that's your own choice. We're just talking about ticket price. Okay, you go to the theater, and then if you wanted to wait until streaming, when it first comes out on streaming, and they don't have the rent option, which is rare, usually it's rent or buy. They're about the same, $5 difference, $19.99 or $24.99, and so it's like, okay, I'm in the second tier. Well, I'll just like, I want to see that movie. I'm just going to buy it or rent it. There's a lot of people like, oh God, no.
Yeah.
Let me wait another 4 months until it ends up on Peacock or Netflix or HBO Max or whatever, to where it's completely free and part of the subscription that they're already paying for. And that's the worst tier for the studios.
Yes.
The bottom.
It's like these different demographics. But obviously, well, honestly, I don't know Mike's life, but I don't know if he has kids or not. But it seems like, he can just watch movies whenever he wants to. Like for me, like it's a lot tougher for me. Although you have all these different, you have a lot of people. Yeah, you have these different tiers of like waiting, right? Pretty interesting.
That's the problem with these kind of mid-budget movies, is they're not given the opportunity to feel like something that's worth going to the theater to. Because, it'll be on streaming in 2 weeks. It'll be on Netflix or Amazon, free with my subscription in a month. So
Maybe.
So that's why you not every movie is going to be like an Oppenheimer or a Barbie, where it's like a cultural event where everybody goes to see it. The only one we've had since then is the Minecraft movie, and it's ironically.
I think in the masses and the general senses, I think everyone kind of thinks that way now. Like, mass majority of people probably think that way. Like, I'll just wait. It's gonna come to streaming eventually. And then we have so many options of entertainment now. So, like, we can just entertain ourselves with so much content. It's so much. There's so many options for us to choose. So people can wait because there's so much to watch and play and do, and I don't know. Probably having an employee. Oh my god. Who stabbed? Oh my god.
Mickey 17. Let's talk about Mickey 17 real quick. I saw it, you did not.
Right.
Great ratings, 77, 73. I loved it. It was right up my alley. It felt like an episode of Star Trek.
I like the premise. I want to see it. I just haven't watched it yet.
It was 120 million. I guess it was considered a flop.
Yeah. What did it? $120 million budget. What did it do?
485 domestic, 84
Okay.
international, for 130 million total.
Yeah. That's not. You don't want to just barely break even on a big $100+ million budget movie.
Yeah, and this is from the
make
director of
double,
Parasite,
triple, quadruple.
Bong Joon-ho.
Yes.
And
This is his blank check movie as a result of Parasite. And I always root for the blank check movies.
Yeah.
Even if they're not good, they're usually like ambitious and weird. So, but I do think like for a movie like this, that budget probably a little too high for like, as far as if you're trying to reach a mainstream audience with an odd premise.
this is this is a John Carter of Mars kind of situation, where you have because it's based on a novel, which I didn't know watching it until the end credits, and I said that makes total sense.
Okay.
Because it feels like this big story. It doesn't have this like a typical structure of like a movie that's just written for the screen. It goes off in these different directions, and there's other characters and these things going on, and kind of it feels very much like a big novel where there's like all these different little storylines going on, and they kind of chose what to include and all that. Mark Ruffalo playing a not so subtle version of Donald Trump, a failed politician who couldn't get reelected, so he joins the space mission to kind of start a new colony. It's kind of a blemish on the film. His performance is a little too obvious, and it's
Mark Ruffalo's, you mean?
Yeah, it's going to be dated. I don't know if his character in the book was supposed to be that particular parody of that particular politician, or if it was more of a general boobish, dumb politician guy. But it's a fun movie. It's interesting. There's these weird slug creatures on the planet that the Donald Trump character thinks are like vermin, but they're really intelligent. He's like, wipe them out with gas, and there's this whole like sci-fi kind of plot going on. But I could see why people didn't quite love it, where it wasn't this huge success. Because there was no action scenes.
Yeah.
It was
Maybe a little too ambitious and weird.
It was ambitious. It was weird. It was very satirical, but it did not do well for the budget.
I would say, yeah, a movie like that, an original idea with a weird premise. Yeah, try and shave that budget down a little bit more. That's pretty big for a movie like that.
You never know.
But you got to take a chance. That's the thing. You got to take a chance on original ideas. But that's another case of that movie is where it didn't do great. So they're like, let's get it on the streaming pretty quickly. So it's like, what, 3 weeks later?
Which you should watch that. You should also watch Woman in the Yard.
I'm going to watch both of them, yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about this because I watched this last night, actually. Psychotherapy. The shallow tale of a writer who decided to write a...
Mark Ruffalo was definitely Donald Trump. And the black chick was supposed to be called... Oh, my God. Oh my God, that's so they're like in denial then, so they have to make a movie and put that in there, and that's so hilarious that they would do something like that.
Starring.
Do you have the box office numbers on this?
I have no numbers.
Okay.
I have no budget, no box office.
Okay.
It stars Steve Buscemi, John Magaro, and Britt Lauer.
Oh,
From
Severance.
I know, right?
Fantastic in this movie, and so is Steve
Actually,
Buscemi.
quite the opposite.
So it's directed by a Turkish man.
Okay.
Who made
so
a movie called Toll
And then they're all
Booth,
wearing red. I saw that.
and a Turkish movie.
Okay.
Made several films in Turkey.
Did he do Turkish Star Wars? I've
Not
seen
to-
that production.
He may have been inspired by Turkish Star Wars.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I want to watch that.
This film apparently won an award at the Tribeca Film Festival, and I don't know how much it cost. There's decent actors in it.
I'm a retired serial killer. What the
It makes very little sense. It's some kind of allegory about marriage and death, and so
thought
this
that was
guy,
a
her
horror
husband's a
film at first.
writer,
This movie?
and she has nothing but contempt for him. And he runs into Steve Buscemi, and Steve Buscemi claims to be a retired serial killer. I want you to write a book about serial killers. He's like, what, man? I don't know anything about serial killers. And then, in a series of wacky circumstances, they decide. She says she wants a divorce, and Steve Buscemi, who's a serial killer, gets mistaken for their marriage therapist. and he has to perform marriage therapy for them.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm in. I'm in on this premise. And it takes a very long time to get going, but it just gets weird. They get tangled up
gets
in the
weird.
mob. There's a little like very light Tarantino vibes to
I
it.
was gonna say it sounds kind of 90s.
What was that? Why?
You said fire.
Feels very much like a 90s indie movie.
Okay.
It has that same vibe, and it's very like flatly shot. The pacing's a little slow. It takes a very long time to get going, but once it gets going, I was just laughing constantly at the performances. Steve Buscemi is just so dry, and Britt Lauer is also the same way, and it like wacky shit happens, but it's played very dryly. And the only thing I kept thinking
That's
of while
interesting.
watching this, having the topic of this particular discussion we're having on the top of my mind was, why would anyone ever make this movie? There is absolutely no hope for it in the world.
Well, it's a true piece of art. Then they just made it to make it.
Yeah.
And
But,
that's what we should celebrate. I would want this in the theater. And
Sure.
you get the theater crowded with people, they would be laughing.
But instead, people were fucking marching to go see Minecraft, and you could tell like it's factory made right off the fucking conveyor belt.
Kind of like edgy, like crime comedy that people went and saw, and it did great.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I couldn't find budget or box office information. I don't think it played in theaters. I think
It probably played I think that's with Borderline, the same thing. Probably played some like genre festivals. No one knew what to do with it, and then they just put it on streaming, where it just dies.
Now, my next question is, why do we have film festivals anymore? And who in their right mind would buy a film from a film festival with the intention of putting it on streaming to make absolutely no money? It does
That's
not
the
sound like a
question.
good business decision.
I mean, that's like what we were talking about with King Tide, where it's like, yeah, this movie's great, but there is no, in the current like landscape of the way movies are distributed, purchased and distributed, there's like no market for it.
Is it just an old model that is still existing? It's a dinosaur
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
You go to Sundance, you go to Tribeca, you see these great films. The studios, the distributors bid on them with the intention that maybe one of them, is it like gambling? Is it like the roulette?
One of these
become
movies
gambling.
will break through.
The metaphorical roulette table.
Yeah.
They buy 10 chips and they place them around the roulette board in the hopes that the ball lands on one of those numbers. Is that it?
I don't know.
Very interesting now.
Tax write-offs? I mean,
David Zaslav needs to be like scooping up these movies left and right just so he can throw them in a dumpster and write them off.
the stuff so far this year has made lots of money, but also been bad.
Yes.
Like critically,
God damn it.
Snow White,
Their faces.
Captain America, these big movies
Oh my God.
exist only to keep movie theaters in business, and that to me is I think that's the crux of this whole discussion. Those big IP movies are the internal organs that keep the body of the movie theater alive, so that it can also have smaller independent movies in the theaters that no one goes to see.
Yeah.
That to me is a pointless scenario because if you know, like, no one's going to see the smaller independent, thoughtful, artistic, risky, original movies in the movie theaters, who cares about the movie theaters?
Yeah, I think that's important to point out, is that it's not that like these movies are flopping because they're not good. It's that the people that want to see those types of movies aren't going to the theater to see them.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to put up with teenagers running around sneaking in chickens or whatever.
That's an isolated incident. That's a commonplace activity.
I know. The Megan screening coming up, that's like a special screening. I'll give that a pass because it's like you're going there specifically to interact with your phone.
You know, in your deepest, darkest part of your heart, it's a test thing.
Oh, sure. Can we keep doing this?
Some idiot in a marketing department position said, "What do kids like these days? They fucking love their phones. What do kids want to do when they're bored in the theater? They want to take out their phones. What if we found a way to make them take out their phones during the movie?
Oh my
and if
God.
everybody's doing it, it won't be a thing." You know.
And it'll become a cultural phenomenon, just like Chicken Jockey.
We have to change with the times. You know, there was some asshole saying that.
Oh, sure.
Somewhere. And
Somewhere.
because that's how these people think. So they're going to test it with Megan, and if it's a hit, the next Blumhouse thing, forget 3D. James Cameron, just go crawl in your grave. The next thing is interactive phone movies.
Yes.
And it's funny, we did a joke video about that.
That's the next thing.
As
Everyone's
Ken-
got a
Release
fucking
that
phone.
video in conjunction with this video.
We should release that video in conjunction with this.
Okay.
We did a Spitballs rant about
that we didn't use for anything.
that we have not used for anything. It's just audio about a potential movie that was designed. It's called Vertical. The screen is vertical, and it was designed to be interactive with your phone. We did this quite a while ago,
Yeah.
and we'll release it too. It'll be on YouTube under
Watch this video and then watch that video immediately after.
We know we're old men yelling at clouds, but we struggle.
Well,
Old
it's
man
just
yelling
an
at
interesting
clouds.
topic because we're talking about numbers. We've been showing box office numbers. We're not just saying like, oh, no one goes see original movies.
No.
We have numbers to back up what these original ideas are doing, and they're not doing great.
It's a very interesting little chunk of time we're in right now because it's from the dawn of cinema in the theaters, the 1950s, 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Everything remained relatively consistent with the exception of the blip of home video
Yeah.
release. Everything was basically the same. You saw your advertisement on television in the form of a TV commercial.
Starring Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. Rated R. Opens Friday, June 13. Check newspapers for local listings.
A movie trailer before a different movie, or in the newspaper. Now we've hit the aughts and the 2010s, now the 2020s, and
We're in a fucking weird time.
right
honestly.
now things are rapidly changing with streaming and cell phones and all that kind of stuff and content. It's shattered.
Yeah.
People's interests are changing too.
I don't think people
It's like a
realize how
bomb
fast
went
things are
off
changing.
in the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
Of from COVID on, of just it
The hell is happening? to
fractured
planet Earth?
everything into this weird thing where no one knows what to do. Do we send people to the movie theaters? Do we put things on streaming? Do we have gimmicks?
all fucked up.
What do we do?
And if we put it on streaming, what do we charge for it? Because this is a whole new avenue. What are people willing to pay? Have we devalued movies so much that there's no coming back now?
Did we do it ourselves? Is
Yeah.
it the problem with the content itself? Is the general IQ of the population dropping rapidly? It's
That's what I'm-
literally
I'm
just this
kidding.
bizarre
Maybe.
landscape,
I don't
and it's not just us trying to navigate it. There's people, in the industry,
Yeah.
having these same conversations that we are. We're just two schmucks observing the city on fire from afar. We're watching Rome burn. To me, a movie like Borderline, Neighborhood Watch, The Psychotherapy, movies like that, and movie theaters are like oil and water.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
funny.
work anymore. So I think Sean Baker's sentiment is correct, but there needs to be a different
Something needs to
way
change.
to get people to watch these movies and to make money for the movies at
Yeah.
the same time that is not the movie theater. And literally the only thing is streaming. The problem isn't trying to push people to the theater to see Borderline.
It's just not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
And we should point out, we're not even saying this as like, oh, theaters, they only play Minecraft. We're not even saying this as like a complaint. It's just the reality of the world we
Right.
live in now.
right.
There are still good movies being made. They're still trying to distribute them with that old model. And that's why a lot of them are underperforming, because it's different now.
Yes.
It just is.
It's like trying to sell your handcrafted artisan mittens in a Walmart.
Or like you have a little booth out in front of the Walmart, like almost like a little kid's lemonade stand, but it's for all your handcrafted knitted
There you
sweaters
go.
and stuff.
Or in
As
the
people are
Walmart.
walking into the Walmart and you're like, I'm selling sweaters here.
Yes. You have homemade, handcrafted artisan sweaters, and they're fine quality, high quality, and you're trying to sell them at in a cardboard stand outside the entrance of Walmart.
And no one's going to the Walmart for that.
And they're expensive because they're handcrafted and they're made with love. And everyone walking into the Walmart is going to get cheap junk that they know.
They want their
Amazing.
$2 sweatpants.
They want their sweatpants
and their adult diapers.
and their giant jugs of nacho cheese.
Oh yeah.
And all their products
In the
and
diaper.
they don't care about your, that's the metaphor or analogy for trying to
They
get
even say that as they walk
your
in to the
Borderline
person at the
movie
stand.
into a megaplex.
care what
you're
It's just
selling.
going to die because everyone going to the megaplex is there to eat popcorn and watch the latest live action Disney remake or video game adaptation or superhero movie. Something has to change, and I think the only thing we can do with our limited abilities is try to find little movies that we like and talk about them, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I, for one, am looking forward to, I guess this would be considered a sequel, but Danny Boyle is making another Trainspotting movie.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm really looking forward to the viral moment when everyone yells, "Chicken junkie."
Okay.
Does that work?
That's fine.
That's all I got.
It's fine.
These are
That's all I
tough
got.
times, Jay. Jokes are expensive.
Oh god, that's hilarious. If you guys find that entertaining at all, if those words resonated with you in any way, be sure to check these guys out, Red Letter Media, on YouTube. Subscribe to them, follow them, whatever. These guys are absolutely amazing. A lot of good movie reviews and other stuff. So yeah.